Okay, this is the first time I've made a video about my sewing, so apologies for it being really amateurish and terrible. But what I want to do is to try and talk you through the process that I'm going to use to make the costume for the censor of the... oh dear, I don't have any means to edit this video, so you're going to hear all my mistakes too. Okay. So what I'm going to try and do is talk you through the process I'm using to make the costume for the censor of Aquae Sulis, who is the most powerful woman in the magical mirror reflection of Bath from the Split World series, because in just over 2 weeks there's going to be a Split Worlds Masked Ball live action role-playing event, which is awesome and terrifying. And so obviously I'm making a really complicated and ambitious and quite frankly ridiculous costume to somehow increase my stress levels. Oh no, wait, it's to channel my anxiety. Yes. So anyway, enough preamble. Before I get into the details here, what I want to say is that I've never had any formal training in dressmaking. I'm completely self-taught, and so I do things wrong the way they shouldn't be done by received wisdom, and so please take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm just talking through the process that I use, and also I am not attempting to create a historically accurate costume. I'm basing it on a kind of a Robe à la Sacque, which is kind of like the dresses in Dangerous Liaisons. But I have not got the time to draw up a completely historically accurate pattern. I did research it and then thought, no, this is madness. So yeah, this is an adaptation of a princess line block, which I have, and I've taught myself pattern cutting, so this is not a pattern you can go out and buy. This is just something I've drawn up myself. So what I did was I took a simple, the standard princess line body block, which fits over a corset I already own for costuming purposes, and had a look at stuff online and adjusted some of the lines so that they look closer to the line for the dress that I want to make. And then what I did was I made a mock-up version, which is called a toile. I don't even know how it's pronounced. I've never heard anyone say it. I've heard, I don't know if it's toile. I would pronounce it a toile because of learning French. But this is the mock-up made from a very lovely old tablecloth my mum gave me. Which is so foul, I thought I'll cut that up and use that to make rough versions of clothes. So this, wow, filming is hard. Podcasts are much easier. So this is the mock-up I made. There's the front section. Oh, I have to line up my camera. This is the front section, which I've just kind of tacked my zip onto to be able to test the fit. And because this is effectively a fancy dress costume, I'm actually going to hold the bodice together with a zip and then hide that under the stomacher on the final dress. So I made it up with a 2 centimetre seam allowance, so you've got lots of room to play with. And I was very delighted to find that it practically fit. The only adjustment I had to make was taking in one of these seams. And also I discovered that I needed to add on about 1 inch because my waist point was too high in my estimate for this design. So then I went back to my paper versions of the pattern, drew up the changes that needed to be made, and then cut out all of these things that you can see on my kitchen table. So what you can see here are the different pieces of the pattern cut in drill, which is a kind of thick, strong cotton weave, and in calico, which I'm using because I don't have proper canvas, which I should be using for this. Now, this is a technique that was taught to me by my amazingly talented late best friend Kate, who did a lot of historical costuming, And if memory serves, this is the way that the Tudors used to construct their bodices. And the way that it works is that you cut the drill with, well, I use a 2 centimetre seam allowance, and you cut the canvas with no seam allowance. And you can see the different pieces here. Those are the side back pieces. This is the side front. And you can see the line here. That's what will go down like the edge of the neckline at the front, and then this is the edge that will match up with the stomacher. This is the centre back, and you can see that it's very fitted into the back, so it's got a slight curve. And these are the centre front pieces. And my top tip when you use this technique, when you cut out the drill and the canvas, you obviously fold your fabric in half and put the pattern on top and cut it. Then when it comes to assembling it, it's best to put out each pair of the pieces onto a table and then put your canvas on the top and pin it ready to sew, because then you make sure that you have a mirror image of the pieces. It's really easy to accidentally make one with that the right way up and then put your canvas onto the wrong side of the drill, and then disaster and tears ensue. So now I've cut all of this out, the other thing that I've done is I've cut out the actual fabric that I'm going to use for the costume. Now this is a really cheap poly taffeta. I bought some really beautiful silk when I thought I was going to make a Regency gown, and then because I'm an idiot I decided actually I'm doing the entirely the wrong costume. And this type of dress requires yards and yards and yards and yards, meters and meters of fabric, and I can't afford high quality fabric for it. And I read online that poly taffeta is actually really easy to work for this kind of design of fancy dress. So this is the nice kind of silky blue colour that I've got, and this is cut with a 2 centimetre seam allowance, so those are all cut as well. Now what I need to do next is to attach the calico stroke canvas, should be canvas, to the drill. And the reason that I need to do this